All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday weekly Bookmap Academy meeting, the coaching and mentoring program we put together over here. We've had it now for, I don't know how many years, a number of years, and it's sounds complex, but I'm going to show what it involves. So if you're interested in this program, this is the first time you heard of it. Just go to bookmap.com, click on the More button here, and then go to Bookmap Academy down here under Community. All right, and here you'll see you can apply to the Academy here, and you go through the details. But basically, what it is it journaling. You will be journaling your trades if you're interested. First apply, and then come into the program, and then you start marking up your charts. Start marking up a certain strategy, the way that you trade, whatever, and notifying key elements, and then if you do a really good job and you're consistent, just one per day is all we're asking, and it's high quality, then you will be invited not only to the Bookmap Junior Academy. Okay, that's the proving ground, and then you do that for the next month or so. You're evaluated, and then you will be bumped up to the Bookmap Academy, and then in the Bookmap Academy you can get Bookmap for free. If you double that quota, and it still you have to do it every month, and just keep journaling your trading, and you double the quota, you can get stops and icebergs for free as well. And it goes further. You can become a coach, you can become a streamer, you can get data for free, etc. So basically at this point you are journaling your trading, and can offer back to Junior Academy members or applicants more deeper insight to what's going on in the charts and what they are seeing or maybe not seeing, what they're doing well, etc. That's the mentoring and journaling program. All right, so let's go through a few more news items and then we'll jump in here. So first off, you might have heard we're offering now 3 different onboarding sessions per week. Monday mornings, 8 a.m. Dan will present. We're trying to capture the European market. And then Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Brandon will present, and we're trying to apply for the Asian markets. And then 1 p.m. On Fridays, I will present, and this is for the New York or US markets. All right, we're also having another competition here. I've probably seen this as well. Bookmap Pets, hashtag Bookmap Pets. If you want to participate on social media, take a screenshot or take a photo of Bookmap, but include your training companion. It could be, like I said before, a lizard, it could be a parrot, it could be an ant farm. We don't care. Something that, trading is a pretty lonely business, so include your pet. It could be a pet rock. We're okay with that. Maybe it's your pet plant. I don't know. But you're by yourself all day long. Now there's the Bookmap community. That's great. But how are you, getting by? Are you sitting in a room all by yourself, or do you have a companion? If so, let us know. Have fun with this. And this will automatically go up on our web page here if you put hashtag Bookmap Pets. All right, Bruce's pilot program. We'll get more into this though, but this is kind of a subsector of the Academy. So we went over what the Academy is. This is a little different, and this is about building an edge for yourself. And this pilot program here is the best way that I've seen to build an edge. It is the fastest. And most traders that I speak with are lacking one major piece, and they don't have an edge. That's what it is. They don't know how to build that edge and define it. So we're here in this pilot program. We provide a setup, we provide all the materials. You just need to follow the process, and then you will, through the journaling, again, it's back to journaling, but it will be quantitative. It'll be captured from replay mode. You'll do your reps, build up that confidence, replay it again and again at speed, 64 times speed or something, so that you can get these instances under your belt, become an expert, and then it's captured also in the trading journal, the quantitative data. So now you can see that you have an edge. I'll show you this more as we go through the event today. All right. Okay. And then our Bookmap Academy, our process here for building your playbook, journaling to build your playbook. Impetus, what's moving the market, key levels on the higher time frame. You build scenarios and strategies around that. And then finally, you get to your setup. These all have to be in line. Then you'll choose the correct setup. When you choose the correct setup, it's pretty mechanical at that point. You have a checklist, you grade it, you determine your sizing and risk, you wait for your order flow event, and you execute. All right, let's go through some disclosures here, and then we'll get into the coaching. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so welcome everybody, and let's see here. We're a little short today on coaches. Vinny couldn't make it. David has been having some personal issues that he has to deal with. Jack has been out. It's summer, it's understandable, end of summer. And let's see, who else? Stan as well. Anyway, that's fine. We can dive deeper into some of the pilot program. And we have some coaches or developing coaches over there. It's a pilot program. So the coaches or some of the original members, I would love to have you guys up on stage and also give some feedback here. All right, so let's jump in here and bring up the Notion file. Hold on a minute. All right. And let's see who is in the room here too. Okay. All right, we'll start over here with Mark H. I don't know if Mark is in here. No, Matt is in here. Okay. So Mark, I do not see. It's okay. Actually, I would love to jump over to Matt. Hold on just a minute here. Take a quick. So yeah, it was Mark who that I was thinking of. But let's take a look and see if Matt, you have anything in here. Sorry guys, bear with me for just a minute. All right, so let's take a look here, Matt. I've got some links here from you, and we can jump in here. Are you there, Matt?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. So just um, yeah, I've got a couple nice ones from you. So hold on a minute here. It's not. Sorry, guys. I'm all thumbs. All right, Matt. So this is a good one. Yeah. So and this is you're in replay mode here, and let's see. It looks like so you got the trendline break accumulation, the setup here. You got your checklist up here. You've graded it, and 8.5. It has to be 8 or better, basically. And walk us through this. I see your entry here after a move up, the accumulation, and then you're looking for taking the opportunity long, and then you target and hit a single up into high liquidity up here. But I think why not just let's just try it this way. Walk us through this trade, and then how's this pilot program going for you? And what would you have done better, or how would you kind of amend this? And if you replay it again and again, what would you look at differently? What have you learned in some of the nuances from the setup?
Awesome. Yeah, the trend line break and accumulation trade is something we're doing in the pilot program, which has been fantastic and learning. I had asked that question of why we started with this particular setup, and that all made sense. I appreciate the feedback from everybody, your response, and that understanding the flow of and control of the aggression and how things are working themselves out, which is fantastic on Bookmap. With this trade, we were coming down into a key level, and we had just gotten 3+ levels of passive accumulation, which is notated by those ones there. And then once we had a little bit of aggressive accumulation coming in, and then we broke that trend, that downtrend, I kind of watched it. And I'm like I said last week, I'm kind of learning exactly how to play these. I posted a little something yesterday because something stuck out to me that Trading is Life said last week, because I was showing a little bit of concern on how how do I play these pullbacks? What's the best way to do that? And because I really feel more confident when I see that aggression come in, like you've notated right here, and then we get that pullback into, well, in this case, it was kind of the low volume node in that area. I'm not sure it like pulled back 50% or anything, but I also saw that pulled liquidity. And so when that happens, that makes me feel a little bit more confident that maybe, I don't know if it's spoofing or what it is, but that we could continue upwards. So I was looking for a little bit of a pullback. You can tell that with Bookmap, which again is fantastic, that the selling aggression was not really there. We were still seeing that continued buyer's aggression. And so I took a position to play it up to that next level of liquidity, which the one that came in that I ended up kind of taking my profit at, that didn't come into a little bit later. Again, the beauty of the historical analysis, like this can't be overstated. It's so impressive. And I look at this and I look at how Bookmap works, all the time, and and it just hits me more and more how important that kind of stuff is. So as we were coming up there, I took my entry and then had my stop loss at a pretty good risk reward, not bad. just underneath where it didn't pull down any further. I played it up and kind of trailed my stop loss. And I did bring my take profit down as that liquidity came in because I was wanting to just play it up to the next level. So as around that 358-ish mark, when we see more liquidity start to come in, I moved my take profit there. Just again to get those base hits, which is what we're doing in the pilot program, is to really just get acclimated with understanding how to notice these four checklist items and how to play that and get that repetition in so that we can make it like nothing, so that you just see these things and it feels very natural, which is something I'm definitely working on. As far as the academy and that, I've been super busy with life as well. I know a lot of people have things going on, and so I need to get into a place where I'm doing this daily. I have a question for you on that because I've lapsed quite a bit in that area. I can just pick it right back up and just keep it going, and then eventually it'll be noticed as long as I stay consistent. Is that a fair enough assumption?
Hey, look, life happens, no problem. The important thing here is to be honest with yourself in the process, because this is a really good way to understand and get all these instances under your belt, and then you'll understand what you're doing. If you're taking breaks along the way, that's fine. But I would rather see you take a break from it than change and look at a different setup, or something like that. So stay focused on the process, but taking a break from it is fine, if that makes sense to you. Let me. I want to reach
Definitely.
out to some of the coaches or original members who are basically coaches, and you guys are going to become coaches if you like it or not. Sorry. Let's
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't think I ever made this point. I started talking about what Trading in Life was saying, and I don't think made the point. So he brought up last week about how the pullbacks can happen sometimes as like a flush before we have that trend line break, and then sometimes after. And just watching a live chart yesterday, I just happened to be up in the morning and I was watching it and kind of seeing, oh, where would I have gotten in? I wasn't playing anything, but it was just, I noticed that kind of thing, and it was just really cool just to see that. So just a side note, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it was really interesting. In this case, it didn't kind of have that pre-flush, down to a lower and then reclaim and then break the trend level. It just broke right through, which was confidence in that trend line break. But then, yeah, I just wanted to make that note. I just found that really helpful, and the coaches are awesome. Pilot program's great.
Yeah, thanks. Before I open it up to Trading His Life, because he'll respond to this. That in general, like, this is for any reversal, like these elements of these four elements up here in the top, they'll need to be there typically. I mean, I can't really think of a reversal where that doesn't really happen. I guess it can, maybe if it's some massive flush through in a stop run or something, and it's some sort of geopolitical event. But for the most part, there has to be this passive accumulation. So now the nuances in this setup because the variations there are a lot. In this case, you didn't get much of a pullback. This is your pullback here, right? And because it was strong, this volume here is strong. You clearly identified it. And the nuances are, if you don't get this really great passive accumulation, okay, maybe it's scant or it's not really there, you may get aggressors, but then you'll probably get a pullback because you don't have all this buying on your side here. In this case, well, it's hard to say. Like, from the screenshot, maybe there was quite a bit more along the way getting filled. It's a key level, and then you're looking for the aggressors here to move it away, and you got it here. I mean, very clearly. This is out of all of this volume in the bars down here, this is the most. Okay, so in this case, this is the pullback here, right? Other cases, maybe you don't see quite as much, and then you will get a pullback, or maybe it's a strong move to the downside, but we're at the end of it, and this turns into a head and shoulders or something. This structure in the setup is kind of like half a head and shoulders. It's like one shoulder and one head. So you got enough accumulation here that you're going to, and you get enough passive accumulation, you get enough aggressive accumulation here that there's no need for that pullback and that shoulder, and there's enough buyers, so they take it higher. These are much stronger moves and can actually turn into really great trades. But anyway, why I bring all this up is the nuances. As you start to, understand some of the nuances and go, well, wait a minute, I noticed there was a lot of like accumulation here passively. And I noticed that, because of that, there wasn't as many aggressors in here that had to move it pretty high. They just, there wasn't as much needed to be able to move it. So that kind of equation here, or it's not an equation, but like that shift and change in the order flow, there'll be differences in it and nuances in it. So I just wanted to mention that, and so as you guys like continue to build your reps, you'll start to understand that. And Mark, Matt, you're doing a great job here. So
Thank you.
You're getting it, and keep going, keep putting the pieces together. All right, I've had my say. Trading is life. Please jump in and talk about the pullback.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey.
Hello, you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it all comes from screen time. So I see Matt, you got in. You was putting in the screen time. I got it from Shark. So it's just like you said, it's a community here. So based on what I've noticed, is you get the accumulation before the trend line break, then you're gonna get a pullback. It's gonna break the trend line, then it's gonna pull back. But as you see, there was no accumulation. It just shot right back up. It just shot, broke the trend line, and kept going. And like Bruce said, the pullback is right there. As you can see, it exalted. I'm sorry. Which is a small pullback, which was the exhaustion right there. Then it just kept and it shot right up to your next liquidity level. So once you based on what I noticed, once you see it shoots up, then it kind of exhausts back and it doesn't come back to your entry level, you're gonna get another shoot up to the next liquidity area. So that's all I have to say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you guys paying attention to, because I've been looking at this a little bit more, and I know it's not a part of the checklist, but I've been noticing these divergences of the volume, and it's not super evident in this one, but as you're coming down before that trend break, it gives me a lot of confidence when I do see those, the selling volume decreasing and almost having a divergence with price as it goes down. Do you guys look much of that, or should I just stay focused on these things? Don't worry about that right now.
Well, I'll say just focus on what Bruce said. Don't confuse yourself and add anything to it. Just stay focused on what Bruce has been teaching us, and that's it. That's just my opinion. That's what I've been doing. I've just been focusing on the four elements and nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. Uh, However, like as you know, like Trading His Life, he broke away from that in a great way, and like he is focusing on it, but he noticed something. He notices that like a lot of times you'll get this like here's another structural level up here, right? And that's kind of where it went sideways for a bit. Uh, but he noticed like a lot of times if you don't get this massively powerful or big move away like this, maybe it comes up to about here, maybe this structural area, and then you get that pullback. So if he sees that and he noticed it, right, it comes back to that structure, but bounces off the top of that little structure right there. Is that clear what I mean by structure? So I'm talking about, okay, so like it's the swings. So here, and then up here is another kind of swing, right? And that's where sellers took it lower. But like maybe you get a move up to there and then you get a pullback and then a bounce here. But there's enough volume in here that there's no pullback. So he noticed that, and so then he started to kind of integrate that in to his setup. And I would recommend. I mean, I highly recommend to note those things. Put it in the markups in your chart and in your notes in the notes column in the trading journal, because like here you can see there's something going on right here. See all that high liquidity and it transacted, and see how now it was on the offer here and it transacted. Now it's on the offer here and it's actually compelling price. Right? You're going to note all these little details in here. And it's like, wow, okay, there's high liquidity here for the taking, but there's no sellers interested. And these are the kinds of little details that you'll start to put together. And then, as Trading His Life mentioned, I do highly recommend stick with the program and the process for this one only. Then you can do another separate study later. Maybe with cumulative volume delta, because I can already see there's going to be diversions, most likely down here. But if you want to put that in, then study it separately. I mean, you can see it right here in the volume down in the bars. So there's going to be some divergence right there, and that's another thing to look into. And then add in, but don't put it into the checklist here. Stick with the four elements, but note those things. And then maybe that really resonates with you, and then do the back testing on that, as a separate study. It sounds like a lot of work. You'll get a feel for it, and once you get the process down, it'll be easy to integrate in another nuance that. Like, I really like to see divergence. If I don't see divergence, I'm not in. Or I really want to see a stop run here. That's another great one. I want to see it flush through, and I don't want to see any more buying. And then I don't care about divergence, because I know that everyone's out. I'm just looking for aggressors now above that area. So these are some of the nuances that I think will add a tremendous amount to the bottom line. So I've been, again, like a little too chatty here. DNT Shark, Trading His Life, help me out here.
Oh shoot! Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Xavier DNT. Sorry, I didn't know if I was making noise back here. I didn't realize I was off of mute. Hope everyone's good. This is a good trade. I really like this. Just a couple things I don't even know. I thought this was great. You know, Matt, you know, you see that liquidity that you're targeting, your original target up there, that kind of gives you an idea of that, of like what your risk reward might be. I like it when you have like a few points like that. And it really helps to kind of make that trade like kind of like an A plus setup. I think it adds to the setup even more when you have that target liquidity, and it gives you a good R factor on that target liquidity too, because you see like where the pivot is, where your number 3 is at, where it breaks the trend line. Like that's a few points. That's like 10 plus points, and even at your entry, you still had like extra room to run from your entry. So that kind of I think that adds to the trade, and that really kind of makes it like an A plus setup for me. So like even though we have our checklist on the top left, and we number it like an A plus or B plus or C plus or whatever. Well, I mean, what you don't really see, what factors in as you do these replays, you know, R factor is a pretty big thing. And then sometimes it runs even further, you know, even through that liquidity. The other thing too is, you know, I know you've been doing a lot of replays, man. So like when or if you transition to like the forward testing, and we've talked about this a bit already. The transition like to actually analyze the like higher time frame or intermediate time frame is huge too, because you know these past 2 days, like yesterday, the trend line breaks, they would get you like maybe a single, right? I don't know if you saw the market yesterday, but you get like a single, but you wouldn't really get those runners. But so like higher time frame or intermediate time frame, and being able to read that really kind of helps you gauge that setup as well, like whether it's like A plus or C plus or something like that. But the singles really help. I mean, I think this was great. I like this one. The R factor on it really added to it, or
Thank
that
you.
like target liquidity.
Yeah.
Do you see that too, when that target liquidity is kind of further away? It seems to like add to the trade, right? A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a little bit of running room left in the file, as you can see. It likely traded up here, but you know, I don't know. Look, Matt, you did great. You hit a
Mm-hmm.
little more than a single. I mean, this is like a 7-point, you know, move or so, right? It's fantastic, and you took a chunk out of it. The beauty here, though, is you can just rewind this and replay it again. And then DNT is like, this is aggressive entry here. It is kind of, it's not clear if it's broken the structure, but it's not clear if it's accepted. It's clear up here. I mean, now you're playing with a different structure though. So I don't know, like you got to play around with it a little bit and get a feel for it. You know, like maybe this is that small pullback, and you see that, and then you see, you know, like what a Trading His Life is looking for. Then you see this. Maybe that's enough to justify it now. That like, hey, you know, it already pulled back. It already tested here into this strong volume. I know it's small, but it did not go any further. And then we find more buyers here. This is looking good now, you know, this is a lot of buying in here to lift it, and then take a single. You know, I don't know where to take a single on this one. Like, you know, maybe it's here, or you know, the safe bet would be something like this. You wouldn't get much out of it, but you know, you just want to build confidence to begin with, and keep playing with it. Maybe it's your stops in your trade management that you know, allows you to take a bigger chunk out of it, and these kinds of nuances will come in the replay in the instances that you take.
Yeah, I didn't mean that the breakout was a better entry or anything like that. I was saying that target liquidity up above, that's higher up, it still gave him room. It still had room to run. So even though that pullback wasn't really like a deep pullback for the entry, it still offered like several points up to that target liquidity. So even though the entry was late, it was still like it still had room to run. So it's nice. And that's how this trade is. That's how these reversals are. You'll find some that pull back, like Trading His Life said, and some won't.
Yeah, yeah. Shark, what do you think? You were jumping in there, and then
I uh I agree with what everyone said. Great work, Matt. You're putting in the work. You're learning about the setup. You're applying it efficiently. And for me, the only thing I can add to this is from a journaling aspect. When I invest time into an annotation, even though, this doesn't take a whole lot of time, but I do like to go back to them. So if you want to come back to this thing over the weekend or a couple weeks from now, you're clicking through a bunch of your annotations. I personally would like to see where that trend line originated from. And also, I would like to see a little bit of what price did after I got out of the trade. That's just because, we do so many of these things. We don't remember the exact price action from every single one of them. And if I want to come back to that and just learn from it a bit, I definitely need to know where my trend line originated. And it's kind of cool to see what price does when I get out. Aside from that, fantastic work.
Yeah,
And,
all
and
great advice. Go ahead.
just a recommendation. And you may never go back to this. I don't know, but I definitely like to see where my trend line originated because that's typically what I'm targeting for price to go to.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I'm not sure why I cut this one off like that. And also having that high time frame, in my case, trading view spot and letting this go further and taking that snapshot. Yeah, it all makes total sense because it'll just be much easier to kind of review and piece it together and go, oh, look, that was good. Or, hey, why was it here? Why did it keep running or why did it pull back? I mean, that just all makes sense and excellent input from everybody. Bruce, I think I agree. I think maybe on this one, it does show, it does have that minor pullback there before that trend break. And so, yeah, I'm going to replay this one again. I think this actually, I was really proud of it because I think this was my first take. And I really, even though Trading His Life last week, he said, he's like, do another day, another day. Trust me, you'll, and I think other people echoed this sentiment. You'll forget, and how it played out there. And I've been doing that a little bit, 100%, 100%. I don't remember them. And so yeah, you can just keep replaying them. I'm going to do that on this day as well. But I was pretty proud of how I played it because I felt pretty confident with that entry. I liked how it kind of played out. I could totally see that being the pullback prior to that trend break, though, like Bruce was saying. And there was a good amount of aggression that came in there. So yeah, fantastic input. You guys are helping a ton.
yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing the work, and you're the one that's reaping the benefits. So way to go, way to stick with it. And like Shark in Trading His Life are saying, like, go back, replay it again, look at it again, and mark up your notes, and replay. I mean, we saw trading DNT had was his fifth trade on one, and we still had input. And that's, I think, where you can really learn a lot really quickly. And you can spend like this would be one whole day that you would, if you looked at the live market. In the replay mode, you could have traded this like 10 times within less than an hour for sure. I mean, God, probably in half an hour. But with markups and study and that kind of stuff, that's amazing that you just have so much more experience under your belt now, and you'll see this in the live market. It'll be in slow motion. Yeah, I mean, look, we never know. Like this little pullback in here, like how many times have we been caught? This breaks out like this, fails, massive selling comes in on the other side, and then drives it lower, and you'll get stopped out. Okay, fair enough. But that'll happen. But put these four pieces together, and it usually works out. Even God, I had that bad day last Friday, and I was in too early, way too early, on a massive day to the downside. But it did end up playing out later, it hits when it does, it hits you over the head. And this is a good example here. I mean, just look at this volume in here, right? Look at that relative volume here compared to this. And then I think DNT also, he made a good suggestions about staying in and looking for that higher time frame target or targets, because look at the volume from here onwards. I don't see a lot of selling in there. I do see some accumulation here passively. Anyway, I mean, you nailed it. But go back and take another look at it, and look at this in here. Like, is there any really reason to get out quite yet? Maybe not. Play it again and see.
Mm-hmm. Will do, for sure.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right that after another week and you come back to the same file, it'll be like it's new, type of thing. So anyway, we'll have more files. I just been quite busy lately, but I will have more files and other resources for you guys soon. All right.
I had actually, I'm sorry, one last thing here. I had actually started with the wrong file on the replays for the pilot. So I started with that very last one with 821, I think it was. And I had like this big win, and I'm just like, I don't know why I'm going to keep that. I'm going to replay all that. I'm just going to delete that trade because it doesn't fit how I'm trading right now and how I'm supposed to be trading. It was at the very beginning of the pilot, and I think I ran it up too far and was playing too many contracts. So I'm probably going to take that out. It was like my biggest winning trade. So I'm like, that feels like it doesn't make any sense to keep it in there. It's not going to keep things accurate. You guys agree with that assertion?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be fair to yourself in here. That's, you're going to get more out of it.
Exactly.
So that's why I kept on saying just one in, one out. I'm going to reply to that one as well. Shark had asked about that, and I think taking one off at it was part of the original video of like take one off, hit the single, and then you got a runner, and maybe you get nothing out of the runner, but maybe you knock it out of the park. But manage the risk at that point. But we'll get back to that later. Anyway, guys, let's see. Mark, Matt, good stuff. Let's move on, and keep going. You're doing great. All right, and let's see here. Who else is in here? Because we got Mark, and then let's see. Who else is in here today? Boy, we're even kind of. Oh, Doosman is in here. Okay. All right, we got something here for you, Doosman, and Greenie. Yeah, we'll get to you next, I think. So hold on a minute here. Will you be able to speak if we invite you up, Greenie? You've been doing some pretty interesting work. Okay, great. All right, and Doosman. Guys, I mean, like, this is the Bookmap Academy where we'll go over any trading style, it's up to you. You journal it, and then we give you the feedback. We've been going over a lot of the pilot program. Well, first off, because it's new, but the content's been awesome, and there's been a lot of it. Just it's a subsector of the academy, though. It's more of kind of like a I don't know, like a SWAT team or special ops team of the academy. Okay. So anyway, let's invite Doosman up, and why don't you walk us through this one here? You've got some feedback from Moby, and we'll just let you go through it though, and tell us what you see in your decisions here.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be best to start with the second one.
Okay.
I took a trade before this.
This one?
Yes. So this was just before the second trade, and what had happened was the trend line broke. The location, I was looking at the overnight mid, price pushed above it, and then VPOC was right there at 65.49.25. So when it was approaching that, and there was a pullback right before on the with the sell, there was a push up with the buy volume, a pullback towards overnight mid with the sell. When I saw price holding, I was anticipating price to carry on higher into that liquidity above, and it just did not happen to do so. And to be frank, I was looking for deeper pullback into the overnight mid, but when I didn't see that happen, and when I saw price still holding relatively above the little small red dot right at the bottom, I decided to go along.
Okay, so you went long here, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is, and I'm glad you put this one in here. So this is an example. It didn't work out, and it stopped you out. Well, and that's fine. This is your forward testing, and what we want to do in the forward testing, the goal is to take what you've done in replay mode and apply it to the live market, so that you see it and understand it in the live market. And it is in demo, but the goal is to just build that confidence, so that then the next step would be trading live at a small size, or a size that makes you still feel comfortable. All the way along though, you will still use replay mode. Like this day here, you would have recorded your data and you would go back and retrade it in replay mode, and do that every morning. Like DNT's got the habit down. He warms up in the morning, and he uses that replay mode to get a feel for trading it and the price action, and he's up and running. Anyway, just a few things. I mean, it did present, and it looks pretty good. I'm going to be kind of critical, and just not to be hard on you. Just a few things though.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, a few things just kind of popped up though. Then it was kind of like, wait a minute. First off, the trend line, the drawing of the trend line from this swing up here, I would look at something like this, connecting these swings in here, and then it would be something like more like that, and it still respects that, price is still being respected there. It's a little shy of it here, but it's respected there. And then the other thing is, you're talking about the midpoint and some of these other things. Those aren't part of the study. So I don't know if, really the study is only for these four elements. It's possible that it gets more convoluted and confusing by bringing in something else. And in this case in here, it looks like, let's just go through it. I mean, obviously hindsight is a hell of a lot easier. But basically, and I didn't draw that one too well. Do that again. Okay, something like that. Do you have it here? Do you have the 4 elements? How good are they? Here, look, that's not bad. Yeah, you notice it also here and here. This is a great one. And then we're looking at a key level. We've got the 50 level here, and we're below it. This is classic. Go down to about 10 points, classic, and then reverse back up, and then just, it stops everybody out. In this case, it rolled back over. Anyway, just kind of looking at it in here, would have loved to have seen a little bit. You get some down here. It looks like some, maybe some accumulation. Then you see the break, and you start to see the aggressors in here. Okay, so it's looking pretty good for taking it someplace maybe in here, and then taking it up to, I don't know, the previous swing or the high liquidity, like you said, but it never transacted. In this case, though, if you entered in here, you may have had a small loss or a break even if you were targeting that high liquidity, which I would have. I would have been targeting it. The swing and the high liquidity are matching up pretty nicely. Yeah, I'd be kind of upset that this went against me, but it is what it is. This one didn't play out, but I don't know. That's my insight. That's what I see. Let me turn it over to Trading's Life Shark DNT. So why don't we start with Shark?
You definitely have the basics of the trade setup here. I agree with Bruce. The trend line, should either be on top or below of your structure. But I plugged in a link there in the chat where you could look at some pages right out of Victor Sperandio's book on his strict set of trend line drawing rules. And it's very strict. There's always wiggle room. I don't adhere to them perfectly myself, but I think having that stable structure will at least give you a good launching point or springboard on where that break of structure happens. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, just take a look at those briefly.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Aside from that, you definitely have the basics of the setup here. I'm not seeing a massive amount of aggressive accumulation. I used to look for that in the dots, and after a post John shared with me, I started to lean real heavily on the delta, like where Bruce just blocked it out. I think that's a great place. Yeah, that's about all I have. I mean, that is some what David would call Tarantino blood liquidity there, where price just had no intention of trying to break through. But good work. Keep going.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How about Trading His Life? Any comments, suggestions?
How you doing, Doosman?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, your trade was beautiful. You have the foundation. You just have to go back, like Bruce and Shark said, your trend line. Because remember, your trend line is coming from the higher time frame. So it basically is, I think that's like the heart of of the reversal. So you have your trend line got to be accurate, because based on this trend line, the structure was broken a couple of times before you even got into the trade. And secondly, what I've noticed is that when you have days like this where based on that it's kind of choppy, I wouldn't even enter it. I mean, the elements are there, but look at like Shark said, look at your aggressive accumulation. There wasn't really there to back up that you had enough to get you to that liquidity area. So I would have just waited a little bit longer, because I'm pretty sure after um that dip, it shot right up to the liquidity area um where your target was. So on days like that when it's choppy, I don't get aggressive accumulation. I just, and then when the liquidity is so close, I 9 out of 10 is gonna shoot up, go back down, and then shoot up to the liquidity and maybe past it. So
Mhm.
just keep that in mind. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, will do. Appreciate it.
Let's see, DNT.
Can we go to the next image? Because he posted another one
Okay.
right after this. And this was your second trade, right, Doosman?
Yes, yeah. This one was it.
You see, I was right. It went right
Yeah.
up. It went down,
Exactly.
touched your trend line, and it shot right back up, just like I said.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that happens. It's that's part of the pain of the of trading. I mean, you win some, you lose some, and the nuances. There's so many nuances, and not to mention not to mention like you're trading forward testing. So a lot of what's going on
That's how it works.
is we're trading like higher time frame levels or intermediate time frame levels at this point. So, and I see like you're putting overnight mid and IB low and stuff. And I look at all the same stuff. I don't really look at overnight mid,
Mhm.
but yeah, I look at like similar things, like kind of like you do. And yesterday was just rejected uh intermediate level, and then just kept you'd see these pops though, right? Like you'd see these
Yeah.
pops, yeah, and they were strong pops. These were strong
Mhm.
rotations to the upside, but they just wouldn't continue. So like here, this is kind of like where the replays kind of come in, and the execution is kind of important, because if you can hit the singles like you do in the replays, the idea is like you hit those singles and forward testing, and you can get risk off. Kind of like what the Bruce was mentioned the video where you have the runner, and even if you get risk off, like you can trail like you did on the second one and still kind of make some, and like so the like we're at like these all-time highs and the market's pulling back, and you don't know if it's going to continue or not, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's tough. And I mean, if we'll all get better as we keep going, but that liquidities, that was it came in kind of that heavy Tarantino blood, that was right after London closed there, and the market just kept going down after it kind of rejected that liquidity
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah, it's fun. You take some losses and then you take some wins, and where
Yeah.
you really make up those losses from is kind of just when you're kind of in the zone and you're able to identify those intermediate time frame, and you kind of flow with it a little bit better. And yeah, the forward testing is kind of interesting because you're coming out of replay and you don't really have that. You don't really have like a good idea of like what happened the day before or anything like that. So really, where you're going from honing your execution and hitting these singles, and now you're putting yourself in real markets, and then that's when like the higher time frames kind of kick in and your analysis kind of kicks in, or really what it is, it's your transition to your playbook. So like the whole point of this is to like build up your setup, and then you take the setup and then you put that in your playbook. And part of the playbook, if pulled it up, the first one is Impetus, and the next one like higher time frame level, and like the order flow event and like the setup. So the whole idea is to like build up this setup, and then you put it in your playbook. So when you're forward testing, you still want to make sure you go through your Impetus like Boost does every morning, higher time frame levels, and can you fit this setup into your higher time frame levels and your Impetus? And like that's the whole idea. And like what happens when we have days like yesterday and the market just keeps trending down and down and down, you can keep taking losses all the way down, and thinking that it's going to keep
Yeah.
reversing. And that's kind of like really where that's the hard transition. That's the hard part about about the transition. And like I experienced it yesterday and a couple other days. And so it's really just kind of like stopping, clearing your head, and kind of looking back again, seeing like what did the market do and what might it do next? Like what levels did you kind of map out, and what did it do? How did it react to those levels? And because sometimes we keep trading the trade until it's gone through the level, and it keeps going through the level, but you keep trading it thinking that you're still in the level, but you really aren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. Like this is really good, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. Thank you guys. To be adding to what you guys were saying, I had the same sort of experience today as well. I didn't post them yet, but I was trying to short whenever I saw the accumulation, but I wasn't really getting a grasp on. Of course, I could never know when it will happen, but the characteristics that will identify when the reversion will happen. So it is something to look into for sure.
It is, and make sure you add those to your journal, because those matter. Those count.
Yep.
Those losses matter, and they do count. Like that's how we know if we have an edge or not. So don't cheat yourself. And I try not to cheat myself either. Like so you posting this is like honest to yourself. Regardless of who responds or what likes you get or whatever. Like you're recording these and you get your own metrics and you see if you have an edge for yourself, and then like you notate like what I did wrong, and try to make that correction in the next day. Write it down or something like that, and then keep noting your errors that you're making, maybe in your execution. And like the warm-ups help, like what Bruce mentioned as well. The warm-ups kind of help too, where they refresh your brain. And but yeah, keep doing it and keep putting it in your journal. They do matter.
Yeah. Now I had one question. Like in terms of my risk to reward, I feel like I'm struggling heavily on that one. Like it's less than 1-to-1 right now, and based off my interpretations of what I see on my stats, if my risk to reward was slightly higher, I feel like I could be more comfortable trading these. So when it comes to this setup, how have you guys been able to maximize your risk to reward?
I find this offer really good risk to reward. Typically much better than 1-to-1. Maybe the if you take it at the swing or hit a single, it's maybe 1-to-1 or better, a little bit better than 1-to-1. But and that helps though. It helps build that confidence. And then and then you don't get caught up in this. So I don't know what you guys think. Trading is life and Shark and DNT.
I have a quick thought while we're on the topic of trend lines here, and what Doosman just said about today. He kept looking at that passive accumulation. So the way I look at it, the passive accumulation or even the trend line is not the be all end all of this trade. What is the be all end all of this trade is your higher time frame key level. So if you see accumulation or you've drawn a trend line because of the way price is set up, that doesn't put the trade into play. You need, number one, your higher time frame key level. When price moves in to explore that key level, that's when you would look to draw your trend line. That's when you want to see what passive participants are doing. But without that key level, you know, you're trading in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So I think that's the first thing to emphasize. You know, is price moving into my key level? Okay, now I'm going to start playing around with trend lines. One thing that I've been doing that's really helped me find an efficient entry is I'll draw that higher time frame key level, like trading is life. I need the back end of that trend line to be somewhere around that key level zone. But I also want to come in and draw a much tighter fractal trend line. And that fractal trend line, like what Bruce just did there, you know, he could plug in another fractal trend line off that midpoint of that. And that smaller trend line, that fractal trend line, when I'm looking at both those trend lines at once, and I see that aggressive accumulation somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the break of one of those trend lines, that's where I'm looking for my efficient entry. So you're not, you know,
Okay.
you're not tied to one trend line just because you drew it there. That's just a line on a chart. What you are
Mhm.
tied to is your key level, because your key level is where participants are, and without that, you know, you're kind of shooting in the dark. Just
Yeah.
just my own personal food for thought. As far
No,
as
it makes
risk to
sense.
reward, I'm, you know, we could go on and on for days about risk to reward. My personal feedback is, how could you even calculate that? Because you don't know where your reward is. You don't know where price is going to stop. That's why I do not, you know, I like to have, you know, maybe a TP1, a TP2, but I want to leave my covering position open ended, because you have no idea where that's going to be. And that could really skew your risk to reward, because it could blow right through your liquid offer, right through your trendline pivot high, and
Mhm.
just keep going as you experience today.
Mhm.
So rather than shoot for I'm going to get a 1 to 2, why close yourself off at a 1 to 2 when price may just blow through that target and keep on going? So
Mhm.
I'm kind of a non-believer in risk to reward myself.
Mhm.
But like I said, there's many opinions on that. But you're doing really good work, man. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the setup. Well, you know, I was just showing this on the higher time frame. So like, I think what Shark, you know, mentioned, like, and and I think it was DNT, or I maybe it was Shark twice. Um, is, you know, the the trend line is just to kind of give, so you know, like, you, as you can see, price comes up to an area, it just can't get quite high enough, you know, you get the move back down, you get, and it continues here. I mean, look, you could draw trend lines all over the place. They'll get broken. You have to remove them and delete them. But we're talking really is about structure and a break of structure. So in this case here, the real break of structure kind of happened down around this area here. And this is the 10th, so this is yesterday. And it happened at the end of the day. And you know, you can see the kind of consolidation here, and then the break, and the break on big volume, right? And then it broke the trend line here too. So that's when you know, you're looking for it, because at here it's broken the structure and it's broken it on volume. It's likely going to test up here. That's your single,
Mhm.
you know. But you know, start to plan it out with some high liquidity at these areas. Your next single is probably up here, which is where it went to. And then, you know, now you're in the after hours though. So Anyway, I just mentioned that about the structure, because I think, and I'm not accusing you, Doosman, but a lot of people I've
Kind of
seen the
avoid.
reaction. I've seen the reaction be like, oh, about the trend line. The trend line is just to just put some structure around the structure, basically, and understand that dynamic of the order flow events around the structure. Because once you get that break of that structure and it's on volume like this right here, it's good. You're good. And there's highly likely that you're going to get a lot of passive accumulation all through this area on the way down here. And that's when you've identified the events, and then this plays out pretty nicely. Now it played out here, it played out here, and this is where it can get kind of confusing. But I think Shark had the right answer of the higher time frame level. Now there is a level here, and the good level is there's a a level down here, but it's also here, right? But I really don't see any. I think the level that you were talking about, I don't really see anything, because you're talking around 38 or so. Let's see.
That's exactly what I meant by fractal trend.
Yeah. So you're right around 40 or so, right? And let's take a look here. God, I hope these are aligning. That doesn't make much sense. 40 up here. So maybe this is this where you were getting in?
I believe so. It says 12 on your time. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it then.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here's the 12, 54 or something like that. So yeah, 12:45, somewhere around there. Okay. All right. So yeah, you do have something there, and it is pretty choppy in here. I would think this is a pretty good level. This is a better one, or this zone kind of down here is a bit better. Not because of this, but it's a higher time frame. And again, it is overnight too. So it's better to see it on volume in the cash. But these overnight areas, though, as you guys know, can offer some really nice levels. You'll see traders react off of them. Anyway, that's a little bit of kind of feedback. Shark, I think you mentioned it. You just don't see the aggressive accumulation. I totally agree. This is much better over here at this point. Much better. I don't see what happened over here, but maybe that's skewing my bias. But here, and these are things to go back and look at, Doosman, because here it's starting to pick up. Okay, it's starting to look better, and you can see the reaction here. But it comes back in and then here is like, ooh, now take this into context here. Are you seeing that transition unfold from sell side to buy side? And
No, it does not look like that.
yeah, but it's starting to shape up here. What I like about this one over here is look how the selling is decreasing here. Okay, a little bit here, but this is going to be some stop runs, and then it's starting to pick up in here. This is looking better, my opinion. Now again, I don't know what happened over here, but this is starting to come together now. Is what it looks like. So anyway, the nuances, and you'll have to redraw some structure, and then also look at structure again. Like this structure here, this is a nice one actually. High liquidity. Here's your structure, this little green dot there, and then here's the volume above it, right? So the structure is really kind of there. In fact, maybe you even want to redraw that trend line. I think you did, or we covered it in the previous drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
So yeah, right in here, and then yeah, maybe target. I know hindsight's beautiful, but you can see the swings, you know, there's a swing here and the swings up here. Anyway, I think we beat this one to death. But you're doing great, and I really commend you on the work, the dedication, and it looks like it's coming together really nicely for you.
Well, thank you guys. It wouldn't be possible without any of y'all. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on, and let's see if boy, he just went over Doosman. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll put this in the chat for you, Doosman, so you can get Moby's feedback here. Florian, oh yeah, he didn't add any images in. So let's take a look here. And let's jump back here. And let's see here. Greenie, we'll get Greenie up on the stage here, and get a different perspective. So,
hey guys.
Hey Greenie, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. How about you?
Yeah, like you know, diving in deep here. Let me bring up the folder here. Okay, and got your reversion trades, and you also had quite a study in there on data, and really looking at details into the data. So
Yeah, I am basically trying to vet basically my entries. So I have a backtest for those entries, and I look only on those places for entries for my trades. And it's giving me pretty good results. So for now, I am pretty good with it. And actually, Tom got me into this. Like I was, trying to every day get up and trade and so, but I didn't have the confidence in me. And this gives me confidence to not move my stops, not do anything. I just see my entry, I enter the trade, and I see what's gonna happen.
okay. Let's see. What would be a good example? What's one that you'd like to go over? So I just bringing up some of the most recent trades here.
Give me a second. This seems like a good example. Like here you can see the main of the mean reversion. I really like mean reversion because in my opinion is the core skill to learn to be able to participate on all kind of markets. Not all the time, but all kind of markets. Because you go only from the edges. So actually you are not waiting really for a big confirmation or so, but you can actually use this in both kind of markets. It doesn't even matter if it's balanced market or a trending market. Because for example, if you have some kind of trending market, then you just look on the low or a small fractal, you find the low volume node. For example, you can see on this image that you have, I have on the left side is the whole day volume profile. That's actually pretty important, or the higher level I look for. It's very good if I have also the higher level, low volume node and the lower level, then it's the best, but I mostly look for the higher levels. And when I actually get here and I am in the extreme and I see a little bit that there is some buying pressure or something that it may go, then I will try to enter the trade and actually target the liquidity levels or some VPOC. These are the best targets. I never go into the trade when I don't see a target. I need to see a target. For example, I need to see some bigger liquidity level or some VPOC where I can calculate actually my risk to reward. It really, I was mentioning it in the chat that I really divide it to two type of markets. If I am trading some balanced markets, then I really just aim for, I don't know, risk to reward around 1 or something around 1. It's enough for me. I know that it's not doing that big moves and so I don't want to get stopped out. So I just target really small moves. If I am in the trending market, I will try to find low volume node. And when I see a pullback, basically a pullback which aligns with my backtesting entry, but it's enough if you see a low volume node and you are on the edge, then I try to enter. I always try to enter with a small stop, and I have actually a rule where when I fail to enter on that small stop, I will not try to enter one more time, because in the past, when I was trying, for example, I don't know, more times to enter the same trade, it led to losses. And I actually figured this out based on my stop loss journal, where I saw that I was doing good all the week and everything. And then one sequence of losses got all my profits away. And it was happening this way. I don't know, it's maybe the ego or something, that you think that you can do it, and you eventually just do a stop, and you burn all the loss or all the profits.
Okay, so the how you overcame that is through the trade management then?
I was actually tracking my losses. This is something which I didn't do maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I started to do it when I entered actually this Discord, and I started to track my losses. And then I figured out, oh, my biggest losses are right here. When I try to re-enter the trade on same level, and it just doesn't work out. So I made a simple rule. You just can try once on the same level, same low volume node. You won't go twice or 3 times because it's not good.
That's
Okay.
smart, I think. Yeah, I think that's smart because things change, markets change, and it changes intraday too. So if your strategy was working yesterday's market and it's not working today's market, sometimes it's best to sit down, kind of see like has the market changed, has like the impetus changed, like all these different things in the real market. Yeah, it's smart to sit down and kind of reanalyze. I like that. That's something we probably should all do.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I think it sounds like it's kind of a study in process, and it's working so far. It's working quite well. However, I mean, the scenario may show up like if you do get in, or let's suppose you, as an example, your low volume node. There's not really anything in here, but let's suppose you got in here someplace, and then you got stopped out down here, but then you see a ton of volume starting to come back in. You know, I can't really make the scenario with this chart, but like you know what I mean. Let's suppose a whole bunch of aggressive volume comes in here. I mean, that's it's broken the structure now. It's looking pretty good. That is, it's likely going to trade right back to his VPOC or his mean or his high liquidity. So
Yeah.
that and then you would miss that one.
Yeah, actually, if you can see that I had a ellipse right where you showed it,
Yeah.
and it was actually breaking the structure. I don't always wait for break of structure. Now I did, but I wait only when I have enough place to go. For example, the TP is above 1-to-1 risk to reward. Then I go for it on break of structure. But if I try to enter on the extreme, which I am mostly doing, that I don't really wait for confirmation or for some, I don't know, I just know that this is the place. I see a little volume. I will try to do it. I will try to do it once. If I get it, I will get better risk to reward, but I don't have confirmation. So this is currently I'm fighting in these two type of trades, which is better, and I can decide here.
Yeah. I mean, and it sounds like at least at minimum, like you protected yourself. If it does represent and it's an opportunity, and you miss it, it's okay that at least you protected yourself, and you can look at that later and then see if you want to integrate that into your system. But if you have found that you're taking it again and again, and then it just evaporates all of your take profits or previous wins, then that's no good for sure.
Yeah, I really try to aim really small stop losses, like 3 points or 4 points or something like that. I don't really go to bigger stop losses, but I don't really try to get big trades or like I don't know. I try to get maximum of 8 points or 10 points or something like that. I won't go over that. So that's maybe my issue yet. But I am really trading these small fractals, which are repetitive all the day. You can trade this almost anytime, basically, because it's really on the smallest fractals you are going up and down, up and down. It's always happening. So it's like a pretty good thing to practice on this mean reversion.
Yeah. I think what we're talking about is the time frame. So integrating that time frame and potential move into your mean reversion, because if it's a smaller like a fractal trade, or like a smaller kind of order flow event, it is highly likely you're going to get hit your take profit, and those are, I think, a little easier to grab because you're just looking for something very simple to unfold, and typically it works, but then we don't know if it's going to unfold into the bigger move. I mean, that's something more. And now it depends. Maybe if it's a really volatile time, those big moves act like a scalp, and it could be 20 S&P points. But anyway, yeah, it sounds like you're making this work for you and within a certain time frame.
I'm really currently focused on these small trades, but as I said, that you can actually use this, because if you have basically a trend or a trending market, the trending market mostly does some pullbacks. And if those pullbacks are going to low volume nodes, those are actually the best entries where you can get into a trend.
Yeah.
So those are actually the places where you should try to get into it. So basically, this teaches me that. And yeah, I am still not doing it because I don't know, I exit too soon. I know that it's my problem, but I did not find a solution for that yet. So I am currently trying to do which works for me, and it's mostly the balances. I really like to trade those, and those are the most profitable for me, and mostly on these small fractals.
Okay. So, well, here's, I mean, that could really, just a suggestion, and then I'd like to hear from the coaches. It's very similar to what we were just covering earlier about hitting a single. We're looking for a move that's going to unfold, and it sounds like your moves, like your winning percentage, is extremely high. If that is the case, then go for it. Trade at least two, and experiment and see, because it has to be like 75 to 90% win rate. 70, let's say 70 to 90, 95 win rate. If that is the case, grab it, trade it up to that, take some off, and then now you've got some leeway, because likely after that you're going to get a pullback. Not always, but you may, or even a reversal. But now you're protected though, and you have some a little bit of a buffer in there for looking for that trend continuation or something.
Yeah, I currently have really high, around 80-70% win rate, but it's really just because of that I am targeting these small moves. It mostly is risk to reward 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. So it's like I have really big win rate. But I know that I need to improve it. I need to be able to get into the trends and hold them to the high time frame targets or some VPOCs from overnight or so. So this is where I am trying to improve next. This will be in the next months.
Yeah.
Now I was really just practicing these entries and low time frames or low fractal entries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's some thoughts and suggestions there. Like, hit that single, maybe even hit it multiple times within the same kind of move, and as long as and you're data driven, so it's high probability, you can look for an extended move, but it's a different thing. That extended move is going to be a different study, really, and that's going to be. It might be a little harder to. I always have found it harder to integrate that in, but as long as you have the potential for that bigger move unfolding, like it is setting up. It may or may not, but it looks like it's higher probability or more likely to set up and work out. Then take the single and then try to hit a double or a triple. For the next leg of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with some suggestions for you.
Yeah, you exactly nailed it actually, because like currently my backtesting study and so is just only about entries. It basically really just try to like watch really low time frame oscillator on 10 seconds, and when it's in extreme, like on the down, then it tries to enter and backtest it if it gets back to the top extreme, which is really a small move. From this, I know that those entries are very high probability, but I don't have data for some bigger structural trades yet. I plan to bet the, for example, VPOC shift. This will be one trending trade which I plan to investigate and actually get data for, I don't know, next 3 months or something like that, because currently I am pretty good already with these entries which I got now. I need to build the next part of it, where
Okay.
I basically maximize those profits.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. Sounds very reasonable. And coaches, let's see, trading is life. If you have any comments.
No, not at all.
A man of few words, trading is life. All right. Let's see, Shark.
I got just a couple quick things. Like yourself, I am a mean reversion trader, and I believe I do it well. Something I learned from a mentor is I'm not proven wrong till I'm proven wrong. So if you can take your TP1, your TP2, and you pay for your stop and you cover yourself, but if you're given a piece of exceptional information that you can use, re-entry is only a commission away. Like, what's it going to cost you? $3.65 to take that information and get back in that trade and push it beyond that basing price action that we're taking our daily profit out of, right? You know, we can make 2 and 3 point trades all day every day and punch a clock, but when we get that piece of exceptional information that tells us now is the time to lean in, I mean, you can lean in and you're covered. You've already paid for your stop. And
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, I think you have a really good trade model, right? Like you're covering yourself, but don't sell yourself short either. Don't say that once I hit my TP2, I'm done and I'm out of the trade, because at that point, it's it's up to the market to say, hey, we're going to keep going and going and going, or we're going to keep rolling over and over again all day. It's what we do with that information that defines the rest of our career, right? I have no intention of punching a clock every day for the rest of my life. If I could take one out of 40 trades and turn it into something exceptional, I'm willing to give back a couple days or a week's worth of work to go for that. And just once again, you're not proven wrong till you're proven wrong, and re-entry is only a commission away.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. I just don't have actually backtests for this, and like I know that my psychology is like really going down when I try to either hold a trade or when I try to re-enter. These two things are not. I don't have skill for that. In short, maybe. I
Well,
know I need to work on that. I really know that
you're
this is a
posting
part
some
that
fantastic, so that you do it twice, do it 3 times, do it 4 times. You may give back your whole day, but at least you're giving back gains that you made, and you're not going underwater. And that's because of the trade model you have, right? You got a 80% win rate. That's phenomenal, right? That's out of this world. You could use that to build yourself some bandwidth. And when you receive that piece of exceptional information, when the market says it's go time, lean into it. You've already made that bandwidth required to lean in. You're not giving up. Something my father always tells me, he's like, oh, it's not your money in the first place. That was the market's money. If you can use that to take that next step forward, I think that, and it's very uncomfortable. leveraging up past our comfort zone is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced. But I think it's the next step towards becoming bigger and better and greater than just punching a clock every day.
Yeah. You are absolutely right, and I really appreciate this comment because it's really, you are absolutely right, 100%. This is really what I know I need to do, and it's very good to hear it from you guys, more experienced traders. Thanks
Why
for
don't
that,
you
really.
why don't you practice it in replay mode and build that confidence, like Bruce always say, get those reps in, instead of giving the your profits back, just practice it in replay. You can go back and replay it and see if you stayed in, what would have happened. So, I would suggest just go back and replay mode and build your confidence, get your rep in, and just
I
take it
will
from there.
I will for sure try that because I never tried actually Bookmap's replay mode, but it's awesome actually. So I for sure will do that. For now, I am just trying to do some back tests, and then I basically just trade some prop firm account, which is not that costly, or how would I say it? It's basically cheap. I can buy it for $60-$70, and basically when I pass, then it's just good for me, and I have a real account. And it's like it's better for me like do it with paper trading because when I just practice like that, I did not have that. I don't know how to explain it, but I did not have that fear or something. Here it's like yeah, it's $60, but it's always like I did already 2K of profits. I don't want to lose it. If I lose it on just some paper trading, it does not matter for me. So I act somehow else like I would in the real market. So that's why I am currently using the low cost prop firm accounts, which are pretty cheap, but I take them seriously.
Okay. Well, yeah, sounds like you got a plan moving forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I really am trying.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so let's see. Thank you, Greenie. And I think we're kind of coming to the end of the webinar here, but Nadia Raymond is in here, and she's new to the pilot program. So I thought maybe we would bring you up to the stage here, and then go over one of your trades here, if you're up to it. So Nadia, come on up. Are you there? Tin Cup Trader, nice to see you in here. I remember it was a while back, like God, like maybe a year ago. Anyway, if you are interested in kind of engaging again in the academy or this pilot program, start creating content, we'd love to see it and go over it. And nothing from Nadia. Okay. Let's wrap it up then, guys. I think we'll call it a day. We didn't have a lot of we didn't go over a lot, but we went over some things in detail, and with a lot of different suggestions. And the nuances. I mean, we're getting to the point. Well, especially this pilot program, getting to the point where there's smaller things in here, and understanding some of you're starting to get into the details now. I mean, clearly 4 main elements, and you guys have been doing them over and over again and sticking with it. It's really great. And then noticing these nuances along the way, and then you know, we'll talk more about it, and then we'll have a separate pilot program meeting, I think early next week, and then we'll go through some more and answer some more questions that you guys may have. So let's see, any other questions or comments in here? No. Okay. All right.
I put together just a Notion file of like 8. It was like we were doing some forward testing days. And it was like Shark, Trading His Life, Laura, and myself, and we all took like the same trades on these days. So I put a couple Notion files together. There's 2 of them, one for 821 and 827, I think. I thought that was pretty cool. I know Shark kind of mentioned it, and Laura too, but it's just interesting to see like how we're all kind of on the same page, and we all like took the same trade at the same time. Like it's pretty awesome to see that unity. You know?
The
Yeah.
27th, the 27th, Bruce, was awesome. When I saw that we had all taken the same trade, I just knew that was at the core of what you were building the pilot program for.
If you go to the chat
yeah.
and scroll up, you'll see the Notion file with the dates on them.
Okay.
Which day you said, Shark? 827?
The 27th, that was a good one.
Okay.
It was kind of moving into the power hour. Price like flicked up into a liquidity bucket, and all of us caught it short at the same time.
I see it, I think.
And I know
I just typed it
in one of
into
the
the chat
beta
again.
meetings, we had discussed like, you know, how do you get the higher powers on board with this? I think that's it.
I'm sorry, where did you put it?
Check in the chat. I'm going to the very bottom, and I just replied to the link. So you'll see this. Go to the very bottom.
in
You'll
the
see
in the pilot program. No, where? In this chat?
It's right there.
And which chat room?
The Academy chat. So the live chat that we're in right now.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. Okay. I love it.
Is that day closed out, Bruce? I was loud when I saw that we all nailed that same trade.
Yeah, this is great. I remember this. I remember Trading His Life, and then I think DNT. But I didn't know that. And Laura here and Shark. Oh my God! Wow. Yeah, this is great. I love
That was
it.
hilarious.
Yeah. Thanks for putting this together, DNT. This is great.
Yeah, should have brought it up before the meeting, but because I wanted your feedback, so that was good.
Yeah. Nicely done.
I hit that trade the way I hit it live, and then I replayed it the way I wanted to hit it. That's the way I wanted to hit it.
Oh yeah, we went over this with you.
Shark.
Yeah, I remember.
We went over the live version. That was the coulda, shoulda, woulda version.
Yeah, here where you got out, and I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem with this at all, though. I thought this was great. You nailed it. You traded it right, and here's the swing, high liquidity, boom. We don't know that's going to happen.
Well, you know me, I always want more.
Yeah, good stuff. It really is. This is like heartwarming, look at everybody take this. It's fantastic. Look. Dean, I mean, trading his life right back to the VWAP, and
Nailed it.
yeah, really nailed it here.
Nailed it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
beauty.
thank you. This is that thing that Richard and Al were talking about, right? Like we are stronger as a community, as a collective.
Yeah. It's a really good point. I really thank you for bringing that point up, Shark. I've been mentioning that to well, in here, and then to others as well. And then John talked about it last time, I think, on the Academy meeting, and others. And what was so great about it too was, I remember the discussion that, well, making the point that, okay, like, we have a nice community, but people are listening though, and applying it. So it's not just like, oh, that's a good idea. They're like picking it up and then looking at it in detail, and that's nice. A trader like John is very experienced, yet he takes some of those suggestions, and he goes in and dives in deeper and looks at some of those things. And that, a lot of traders that get to a certain level, it's like, yeah, whatever, I trade it this way, screw you, leave me alone. But that adds so much more. And that's where I think it turns into what you're talking about, Shark, of like really learning from each other in a great way. That synergy.
Yeah, we're stronger as a collective than we all sitting here singularly at our own desk, clicking away.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Any other comments? Anything that you guys want to mention, coaches? No.
No, no, I'm fine. Just thank you. This is all I keep saying. It. This is just a representation of your leadership. So we're gonna keep
Agreed.
doing what we're doing.
Agreed. That you put this together, Bruce. We owe you endless gratitude.
I mean, look, like, it's like I just said, you guys are doing the work, and you guys, like, so I painted like it's like a kid's coloring book, or like, something of like, here are the big broad lines. Now, you got to fill it in, and you guys are, and you're doing really good work. And so, like, okay, yeah, there's a structure there that's helpful, but it is you guys doing the work, and then making that structure, sing. So, eh, that's it. So it really is kudos to you guys. So I really thank you. All right, enough kumbaya. So, all right, guys, thank you, everybody, and it was a good session. Well, tomorrow's Friday. We'll see you in the All Markets webinar, and we'll take it from there. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. All right. Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
Later.